Thank you for tuning in. You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World. This is Women Empowerment Talk Radio, and I'm your host, Carmelle Bias, in the studio today on a beautiful day here in Seattle, Washington, y'all. We are back and glad to be here with you this afternoon. I want to go ahead and introduce our guest for the afternoon. She's a mother, a wife, a career woman, and an upcoming author. Miss Deborah Robinson. Miss Deborah, how are you doing today?
Oh my God. I'm so glad to be here this morning. This is amazing for me. I don't know if I've ever been on the radio before, but I think so, maybe in Missouri sometime when we were doing Women of Purpose International. And I am so blessed and honored.
Oh, good, good.
Honored.
Well, we are
Honored
glad
to be
to
here.
have you with us this morning today on Women Empowerment Talk Radio. This afternoon, normally I love to have those guests that are on that talk about business or business owners, and we're talking about entrepreneurship and all these great things. But in honor of International Women's Day, we're going to be talking to Miss Deborah Robinson, as I said, wonderful, wonderful mother, wife, career woman, upcoming author. She's got a lot going on, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this interview with her this afternoon. But before we jump in, of course, I have a couple of announcements to make. I want to let y'all know Women in Business Expo Group. Oh, we are doing the work, y'all. Youth Entrepreneurship Program is launched and ready. We are working. Okay, again, looking for those speakers it is that may be interested in helping us out with the Youth Entrepreneurship Program. Last year, we did Echo Glen Youth Detention Center, and we were able to complete all 4 workshops with them. And hopefully, this year, looking to do that program again with the Echo Glen Youth Detention Center. So if you are interested in maybe being a speaker, you're a motivational speaker, let's say, you love working with kids and motivating, inspiring young people, then let us know. You can definitely email us, Women in Business Expo Group at yahoo.com for more information and details, because we are looking for you. Okay, definitely looking for those speakers, as I said, those that are motivated, inspired to help young people and just want to see young people transition, and be all that they can be. Then let us know. Again, that email address is Women in Business Expo Group at yahoo.com. Also, want to let y'all know the website is complete. Women in Business Expo Group. You can check out that website. It is www.wibeg.biz. This is where you will find membership information. It's an e-commerce website, so you can put your products and services on that site and create yourself another avenue of income there. You can buy from the website, but also sell your products also too on the website. So this is an amazing website that we've worked very diligently on. And, we want to give a big shout out to Elaine Robinson at Smiling Websites there. She's our web designer, did an excellent job on this website. So for those of you that are interested in becoming a member, learning more about Women in Business Expo Group, maybe posting your products and services up there, or just connecting with other business owners, definitely check that website out. Again, that's www.wibeg.biz. And for more information, you can definitely check us out on Facebook. That's Women in Business Expo Group, or email Women in Business Expo Group at yahoo.com. Also, too, want to let you guys know about an upcoming event. It is May 20th. This is the Small Business Festival, going to be held at Jefferson Community Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you are a small business owner, you have products and services that you want to sell, they're going to be creating a marketplace up there for the community. Come on out, enjoy yourself. This is a free event. Bring your kids. Again, that's the Jefferson Community Center, May 20th, here in Seattle, Washington. So you definitely want to come on out and be a part of that event for sure. Again, that's May 20th there at the Jefferson Community Center. So for those of you that are out there, come on out, participate, be a part of. That's the Small Business Festival. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into the interview this afternoon with our guest, Miss Deborah Robinson. Miss Deborah, why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I am 77 years old, and I have four sons, three sons and two daughters, one by my come through me and the other one through my husband. And uh, so I became a believer in one 1968.
Mm.
I heard somebody whistle. That's how long I've been with the Lord, and He's been with me. And
Yeah.
so, and it's been a great living and a great, my children are wonderful. They're kind, and I didn't even know how kind they were until my son Samuel, who was the oldest, he had never gotten married before, never, no kids, and he got married in September 18th, and all the people that talked about how kind he was, it amazed me, because when your kids are gone, you don't know what they're doing. And
Mhm.
so that is such a blessing to me. And my youngest one is also kind. He's a little bit of trouble, but he's a kind man. He's a good father.
Yeah.
And so the middle one, he's great too. He's a great father. I love my children, and my daughter is amazing. You have to meet her. And she saw the calendar, and she said she knows some of you.
Yes.
So anyway, that's it. I've been following Jesus since 1968, and I never stopped.
Yes, yes. Well, I know as our years of knowing one another
Yeah.
that you're definitely committed and dedicated to the Lord there. You know, this interview this afternoon, what I wanted to do is really, take some time and allow the listeners to know a little bit more about you, and just being as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, career and how you have balanced all of that. Would like for you to kind of share your expertise this afternoon, with some young ladies who, may be listening
Okay.
and maybe need that, kind of advice, that mentorship,
Yeah.
someone it is that they can look to. So let's just take this half an hour right now to just share some of your wisdom. Miss Deborah, let our listeners know, how did you balance, motherhood, being a wife, and a career? What was the foundation of that?
Okay. First of all, I never wanted a career. I just wanted to be a mother. And for most of my life, that's what I've been. And then when I started working, we made sure that nobody else were taking care of our kids. And so nobody we knew. And so I would work in the evening and he would work in the day, or vice versa. We would, make sure that peop, our children were taken care of well. And so that was that. And then as I started working, um, really working, I started driving for Metro. I drove for Metro King County for 26 years. And so it was the same thing. It was like he was working for Boeing, and I was telling him, you have to get off so you can be home when these boys get home. And so they let him. And so um, and that was I was so grateful. But the other thing about raising my children is um, I told them, I'm not that mom that's going to take you everywhere. If you
Mhm.
have to go somewhere, you get on the bus and go, because then you're training them to be, um, you know, confident in what they're doing. And so, yeah, they would have to go and then I taught them to the boys how to wash their clothes and vacuum and do other things, because I remembered that I was the girl and my mom had me do. Deborah Sue, can you come and do the dishes? Gregory, my brother Gregory, he wouldn't do them. He would hide them. He would hide them in the oven. So it was like, and can you do this? And I had to be the one that ironed all the time. So I wasn't gonna let my daughter have to go through that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then my husband's like, no, they can't wash. No, no, I don't want my boys to be doing that. And it's like, what are you talking about? You do your own laundry. I mean, before I met him, he was doing his own laundry. Yeah, so that was one of the things. And and then when you look back at your life and you realize that they saw you, because no, they are listening to you.
Yes.
Not they're listening, they're watching what you're doing. You People are saying, well, don't do as I do, but you do what I tell you. No,
Right.
they see. And I when my daughter told me how kind she thought I was, and how I didn't get up and rear up because my in-laws were blah, 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 and all of that, she saw that.
Yeah.
See that,
Yeah.
and that's the kindness of Jesus. Because
Oh, yeah.
Deborah Sue Robinson would have, back in the day, oh, it would have been a fight.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's what he does. He calms you. He's just like, hey, and it
That,
does just roll off. Women used to call up for my husband, and it's like, here,
yeah.
I
That's
just
it.
handed him the phone because I
That's
trusted
exactly
him.
That's
Yes,
exactly it, Miss Deborah. It sounds like you've raised your kids definitely to be very independent and strong-minded,
yeah,
is what that sounds like to
yeah,
me. So, and
yeah,
that's definitely one of the characteristics and foundations. It is that we need as women. I would
yeah,
think is to be independent, and to have that independence and be
yes.
very strong-willed and strong-minded. Miss Deborah, how many years have you been married?
Okay, Mr. Robinson left here December the 3rd, 2021. So I think, and our anniversary is the day after Christmas. Um, 50 some years.
Yeah. Yeah. A very long time,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
and
We
that's
got
it.
we got saved uh the same year together, and then in the next year 2000, 1969, we got married.
Yes.
We got married.
And stayed together,
Yes, ma'am.
ever since, through the good, through the bad,
Yes,
through
ma'am.
whatever it was, the key is you stay together.
Yeah.
And that's something it is, that nowadays we rarely see anymore. We rarely hear people that stay together,
Uh,
for 50 something years, or 60 something years
right.
that they've been together. So, we honor you for that because that's
Thank you.
definitely
Thank
a
you. Thank you.
blessing.
So let me
Um,
say this. Let me say this. There were times when it wasn't so hot. It wasn't so good. It wasn't so good. It's like and then uh because he had mental issues coming closer to the end. And he would there were names he would call me and stuff. And I remember the the nurse gave me some pills and kind of made me so I could be calm and whatever, but I was calm. I never was afraid of him. I knew he wouldn't hit me, and I knew that Jesus was watching over me. So I was laying on that sofa and I was thinking to myself, just down in the dumps and all of that. And then God said, that is not who you are. Get up. That is not who you are. And then
mhm.
I thought, if I leave, where's my victory? Where's my victory? Because I always believe that I am victorious through Christ Jesus. And
Yes.
so that's it's like, I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave. So I never left. I did for 1 year because God told me to. It was getting a little tough there. But
Yeah.
God told me it's you I gotta deal with.
That's good.
'Cause you always blame him. He did. God, when you gonna do something about him? It's like, nah. God
Say
said,
he
Deborah, you are the one I can deal with right now.
Yes. Say
So he
he
told me I
needed
was
to.
coming back. I came back, and and we've been together ever since. And somebody told me right after he died, you finished your course.
Yes.
You
Amen.
finished your
And
course.
you definitely have to, Miss Deborah. Let our listeners know, there may be someone out there, some young lady, who's looking to get married, who's looking to commit to a lasting relationship. Give some advice to that young woman it is that may be listening.
Okay.
What does it take? to have, a marriage, a relationship, for 56 years?
So I'm going to give you my daughter's testimony that okay, she's in her 50s. She was born in 66, and she never she just stayed with Jesus. She is a kind woman, and in other words, she got to know herself, and she became a confident woman because she knew herself. She knows who she is.
Mhm.
And so as she studied and did what was set before her, yeah, she became this great woman that her husband married, and this man is a fortunate man. He's a blessed man
Yeah.
because this woman is kind and good. She saves her money. She's always saved her money. So and I used to save mine too, because just in case something happened, I had some, and I kept a small part of my career as a data entry person, because you didn't know what was going on. But for she and I, there is no back door.
Mhm.
You don't go in looking for a back door. Well, this if this don't work, we'll do something else, because that's what people are doing nowadays.
Mhm.
And you have to work through marriage.
Yes.
And so as you work through life as a single person, you 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 stay what do I want to say? You want to stay close to as close as you can to good people,
Mhm.
and let them show you, let see their life. Maybe hang around with somebody that's married, and then you can see married, and you can see how to do it. Even
Yes.
get a book. Even get a book.
Mm.
Get a book.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some good advice there,
Yeah.
for those it is that are, maybe looking to get into marriage now,
Mm,
or, a lasting relationship. But some of this information, it is what you're giving us too, definitely parallels with business. I mean,
yeah.
it definitely does, staying committed, not looking for the back door and how can I get out of this, you know,
There you go.
but sticking to it, and we're so easy nowadays, to give up and, I'll just do something else. I can just go over here, or,
Right.
you know, and not commit, you know. But that's one of the keys, and definitely, like Miss Deborah said, a lasting relationship, marriage, business, whatever it is, you want to commit yourself, and be
That's
faithful to it
right.
also.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
then besides that, you want to know for sure that this business that you're going to be in is for you.
Yeah.
Because my saying is, if it's not a God idea, it's not the idea you need to do.
And that's
If you can
exactly
just listen with your heart, whoever you are, listen with your heart, and 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 believe for sure this is yours. I'm going to do this. Then do it. And like she said, don't back out.
yeah.
Commit. And then maybe you can set a time. Like, maybe, okay, if this is not working right in a year, I'm out of here.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Definitely some good tips out there for our listeners this afternoon. Miss Deborah, let our listeners know too. I mean, in your lifespan here, your time, of being a mother, a wife, working at Metro there, your career and everything, have you ran into any barriers, and if so, give us maybe an example, and then how you overcame that, you know?
Well, let me say this. So, I am a life coach. I am a weight loss coach, and with this organization that I was a part of, I was going to be the one that start doing the coaching and stuff. And in my house, everybody's sitting around, and this woman that I had brought into the organization, the leader called her name as the leader,
Mm,
the life coach.
mhm.
And so, first of all, because of my heart, let me tell you something. I have an innocent heart. I and I have a childlike faith. It's like sometimes I don't realize that I've been dissed.
Mhm.
Just being real. It's like I didn't realize it. And it's
Yeah.
like when I look back, it's like, oh my God. And then nobody liked her. And then before we knew it, she was gone. And and just it's like, but because of my heart, I just let things go. I
Yeah.
forgive. Forgiveness is a huge thing. Even if at your job they're saying things and whispering behind your back, forgive
Mhm. Mm.
because unforgiveness can cause sickness and all kinds of things. And so when we forgive others. And because when you're forgiving, it's not about them, it's about you.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
about you.
Yeah. And forgiveness is definitely a key, too, for, allowing you to move on, that person it is.
That's it.
Yeah, to move on. So, definitely, overcoming barriers, I think, and we'll say, Miss Deborah, that, one of those keys there is forgiveness then.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
For sure.
Awesome. For those of you that are just tuning in, you're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World. This is Women Empowerment Talk Radio, and I'm your host, Carmelle Bias. Oh, we are in the studio once again today on a beautiful day here in Seattle, Washington, with our guest, Miss Deborah Robinson. Just talking here about motherhood and being a wife and a career woman, and also too a potential author. Entrepreneurship. We're talking about it all, y'all, today.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're gonna put it all in there today. Miss Deborah, let our listeners know, and in honor of International Women's Day here, you know, who is a woman or women, that you honor? When you think back over your past and the women it is that maybe that have mentored you or given you guidance or been there for you, who are those women?
So, number one is Dr. Virginia Phillips, who lives in Portland, Oregon. She is the leader of the organization called Women of Purpose International. And uh, what what she did was taught us how to love because we were around a bunch of different colored people.
Yeah.
And let me see, that was back in the 90s, yeah. So, and then they, well, can I touch your hair? Can, all this kind of stuff. And we learned how to love one another. And now we're sisters in the Lord.
Hmm.
And, but, no matter who came, she never threw them out. No matter what they were saying, she never threw them out. And
Yeah.
so that is because if if God the Father, who is love, if he's in me, he wants me to love others. And so I mean that's a big one for me. That's a
That,
big one. And let me tell you the other one.
hmm.
My daughter,
Yeah.
my daughter is amazing. She teaches me and shows me just by, like I said, with her actions, because she works for King County and she's going through hardship trying to teach um, diversity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and that's definitely a challenge. What's your daughter's name? Let's go ahead and give her a shout out.
Deborah Baker.
All right. All right. Miss Deborah Baker, we honor you in
Oh,
this afternoon here on Women Empowerment Talk
yeah.
Radio,
Yeah.
as being one of those women out there that we salute definitely.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
I say
You know,
when I grow up, I want to be just like her, although I like myself too.
that's it. That's exactly it. Let our listeners know, Miss Deborah, what do you think are the importance of being as a woman, but being aware of yourself?
Mm,
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that.
wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah, it's interesting. So when you I was just looking at a thing talking about your identity.
Hmm.
So when you know who you are
Mm.
and you know your purpose, you become the person, the individual that you know where you're going. When
Mhm.
you know that you are kind and you don't step out of that place, and when you know you are a giver, uh, you continue to give. You don't stop. You don't get mad and say, well, what is that? Because I know myself. I love myself. And sometimes I look in the mirror and say, Deborah, I love you. Because when I was young, I didn't think anybody loved me, not even my mom, because she
Mhm.
was so hard on me. But I know myself. I know myself in Christ Jesus. And I know myself as a wife that I love my husband till the end. The Lord told me to even in the midst of the hardest and deepest uh mental stuff that was going on, he said to love, to thank me for what you're going through right now. And I'm like, what? Okay, I'm thankful.
Yeah.
He said, because I'm going to create character in you, because in your patience possess ye your soul. And so I became a better wife.
Yes.
I wasn't throwing my neck and looking all because he's saying something that sounds crazy.
That's it. That's
And
it.
we still laughed and watched movies together. And I'm telling you, my husband loved me. And the only reason why I really knew it, especially as a young woman, that my mom said, I don't like him, but that man loves you. So,
Uh,
yes.
yes.
Yeah. And his love language was giving me everything that I want, diamonds, whatever.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
be quiet sometimes, like, no, don't say nothing because you're going to go buy it. And then
Yeah.
5 minutes out, I got out of the store. I decided I didn't want it. And then I got it.
Oh. See, that's important, I think, too. Like you mentioned, the love language.
Mhm.
Eh,
Exactly.
yeah, not everything, I guess, when it comes to communication is verbal, you
Yeah,
know. So we have to understand that when we communicate with one
that's true.
another. Yes. Miss Deborah, I want to thank you for your time this afternoon and being a
Mm.
part of Women Empowerment Talk Radio. And also, to thank the listeners for tuning in this afternoon, y'all. This is Rainier Avenue Radio World, and I'm your host, Carmelle Bias. All right.